Good morning, everyone. So good to see you. I see a few new faces in the room this morning, so I feel compelled to introduce myself. Usually I don't. But my name is Sue, and I'm the pastor here, and we are so glad that you have joined us this morning, especially since we discovered when we got here that we don't have any AC in the room. And we didn't know that till we got here. So if you would like to make a fan for yourself, a personal fan, Shelby so kindly brought all of the supplies that we need on that table in the back, and you can go make one of those little fans to fan yourself if you feel like you're too hot. But I think we'll be okay today. It's not 100 degrees, it's only 80. And let me invite us all to get grounded. Take a few deep breaths. We know we're entering into some charged territory this morning, but we've been preparing for it. And so let's remind ourselves the things that I'm going to ask you to respond to me on the screen. Come as you are, aching, tired, joyful, or seeking. Here, we are woven together in love. Set down what you carry and let this be a place of rest. Here, we are held in hope and mercy. Be present to yourself, to each other, and to the divine life that flows through all things. Here, together, we find the common thread of divine life that connects us all. This divine life in which we live and move and have our being, our God who is lover, beloved, and love overflowing. Amen.
This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond.
In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. In the center of the center, there's a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends. Shining, shining, a light that never ends. Shining from the center, a light that never ends.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I'm Suzanne. I'm your liturgist, and so it is my privilege to say welcome, welcome, welcome to Common Thread Church. We are so happy that you're here. If you're here for the first time, if you've been coming a long time, if you used to come and you came back, or if you're joining us online, however it is that you showed up here, we believe that you belong. If you want to know more about us, just click the QR code. We'll send you a zero pressure email with more information, including the option to connect with a human if you want to, which of course is the best way to learn about this church. It's a way to get a first-hand impression of what we're like, where we do shine, where we do struggle, and mostly how transformation is the aim wherever we are, because we believe that this journey is only really made together. An even more heartfelt welcome this morning if you are here and having a particularly hard time. As you know, in our culture, when we're having a tough time, it's really easy to pull back and shut down. But we believe that when we stand together on our roughest days, we stand strong. Standing together is an act of solidarity, an act of love, and a part of what makes this collective transformation possible. So each Sunday, right down the hall is a listener who is ready, willing, and able to hold space for you if you're having a challenging time. If you need an ear or a shoulder to cry on, or just a fresh perspective on something, head down to the library after the service, and Heather will be there to hold space for you. And Heather will hold everything and anything that you say in confidence. And at any time, you can go to the URL code to request support through the community care team. Morgan leads that effort, and if you let her know what's going on with you, she will try to get you pointed in the right direction. And now, as we say together each week, if you are here, you belong. We are, every one of us, carriers of the inner light. And we are, every one of us, carriers of divine breath. And so, as carriers of divine light and divine breath, I invite you all to stand and greet each other.
is a wonder.
Everything is a wonder.
Unfolding right before our eyes. Everything is alive. With spirit. Everything is a blessing.
Everything is a blessing.
Bursting from the earth and sky. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everyone is sacred.
Everyone is sacred.
Everyone is filled with the divine. Everyone is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everything is sacred.
Everything is sacred.
Everything is filled with the divine. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everything is a wonder.
Everything is a wonder.
Unfolding right before our eyes. Everything is alive
with spirit,
with spirit. Everything is a blessing.
Everything is a blessing.
Bursting from the earth and sky. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everyone is sacred.
Everyone is sacred.
Everyone is filled with the divine. Everyone is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everyone is sacred.
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 Everyone is sacred. Everyone is sacred.
As always, we have a lot going on at CTC. Today is Brew Crew from 2 to 6 at Locked and Loaded Bar and Grill. And you can join Ray and Diana in Garner as they perform in their band, Swag. Who knew? Weather pending, they will be performing outside with covered seating and fans, and of course, great drinks and food. An artsy group on June the 13th. And on this occasion, they will be making crafts to donate to the Ridge Craft Fair, wine charms, bracelets, and fidgets, all material and instructions will be provided. And if you missed anything or want to recheck some information, you can always find it out one of three ways: in the app, on the website, or through the weekly email.
Thank you, Suzanne. And now again, I'm going to invite everyone to get grounded. Take a few deep breaths. Fill your lungs with air. And exhale fully. Before we turn to questions about artificial intelligence, we're going to return to something very simple: the body. This body, your body. Your breath. This room. This moment. Notice your feet on the floor. Feel them grounding you. Feel your body being held by the chair. Maybe soften your shoulders. Maybe unclench your jaw. Let your belly loosen a little and just notice that you are here. A human being, breathing, held, present, or at least trying to be. And if your mind is busy, that's okay. If you are distracted, that's okay. You are allowed to return. Returning is the practice. You just gently come back to the breath. Come back to the body. Come back to the room. Come back to now. The eternal now. Again. Return again. Come back again. This is one of the most human things about us, is that we leave. We might, in fact, call ourselves lovers of leaving. Our attention wanders. Our minds run ahead. Our bodies brace, our hearts close, and we forget ourselves. We forget each other. We forget the presence that is always here, and then by grace, we return. We return. Returning is how grace finds us again and again. So for a few moments, just notice what it feels like to be a human being in a body. Texture of breath moving in and out. The small movements that happen without your effort. The heart beating and the lungs receiving. You do not have to earn this breath. Not have to produce anything for this breath. You do not have to prove your usefulness to be here. You are here, and that is sacred. No matter how many times you left during this practice, come back. Come back to yourself. Come back to your body. Come back to this room. Come back to the presence beneath all things. And remember that the moment you notice you have wandered is the doorway back. Come whoever you are. Come again. Come.
worshiper, lover of leaving. Oh, come, come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair. Come, come, whoever you are. Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Oh, come, come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair. It doesn't matter if you've broken your vows 1,000 times before, and yet again. Come again, come again, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, oh come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, oh come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair. It doesn't matter if you've broken your vows 1,000 times before, and yet again. Come again, come again, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, oh come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, oh come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair. It doesn't matter if you've broken your vows 1,000 times before, and yet again. Come again, come again, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, oh come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, oh come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair. It doesn't matter if you've broken your vows 1,000 times before, and yet again. Come again, come again, come again, come again, come again, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, oh come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, oh come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair. It doesn't matter if you've broken your vows 1,000 times before, and yet again. Come again, come again, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, oh come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, oh come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair. It doesn't matter if you've broken your vows 1,000 times before, and yet again. Come again, come again, come.
Y'all ready? So a couple of Sundays ago, I was headed to my car after church and stopped to talk with Beverly, in fact, for a few minutes. And I said to her, yeah, we're going to do this AI series in a few weeks, but I'm not exactly sure where I'm going with it yet. And we both agreed it would come to me when it came to me. And then, the very next day, the Pope dropped his major encyclical on artificial intelligence, and this guy is always stealing my thunder. Yes. A lot of people. Anyways, anybody here read it? Yeah, I did. I think it's a pretty solid document in a lot of ways, and it's needed. I agree with Eli Pariser. He's a longtime tech thinker who has spent years warning us about the ways digital systems shape our public life. And Pariser said he was grateful to the Vatican for helping lead this conversation on a global scale, because the tech folks driving all this innovation generally haven't been pausing to think through its implications on humanity. But we are, right? And our thoughts and feelings and sensations are all over the place. Some of us are excited by it all. Some of us are terrified by it. And some of us are just exhausted by the whole thing already. And wherever you are with this is where you are with this. I didn't write this series to tell you what to think about artificial intelligence. I'm not interested in giving you a simple AI good or AI bad sermon. In fact, like everyone else on this planet, I am not qualified to do so. What I'm more interested in is asking some questions. Questions about technology, sure. Questions about society and the economy and education and the environment and how the ongoing development of artificial intelligence plays into all of it. But maybe even more than that, I have questions about us. Because beneath all the headlines and predictions and arguments, something profound is happening here. The tools are astonishing, yes. But what is AI revealing about us? About the world we've built, the pressures we're carrying, the ways we relate to one another, and maybe even the question we've been asking here at Common Thread in various ways over the past year and a half: what does it mean to be human in this particular moment in history? And what a moment in history it is. You know, just a few years ago, so much of what's possible in this realm still sounded very futuristic. Today, a 7th grader can pull out her phone in homeroom and ask a chatbot to finish the previous night's homework before her teacher has even finished taking attendance. AI can imitate voices, create images, tutor students, automate jobs, diagnose disease, offer companionship, and increasingly participate in parts of life we once assumed belonged to human beings alone. And this can be pretty alarming because we have no idea where it's going next. It's not like we aren't trying to get a handle on it, to get a little more certainty around it. You know, last month, John Rowe, who has been steeped in the world of AI much longer than most of us, kindly sat down with me to share his perspectives, and he pointed me toward a project called AI 2027, where research teams are sketching out possible near-future trajectories, not because anyone thinks they can predict the future cleanly, but because the speed of development has become difficult to process in real time. Some of the scenarios involve AI systems increasingly building better versions of themselves. Major shifts in labor and power, governments and corporations scrambling to keep up. Some people think this is wildly alarmist. Others think it may underestimate the risks. And the truth is, we don't know. Meanwhile, most of us are focused on more immediate concerns, how AI is already affecting our own lives. And we have questions. What happens to employment when AI makes some jobs obsolete? What happens to our environment when the data centers powering AI place growing strain on energy grids, water supplies, and carbon reduction goals? What happens to education? What happens to childhood? What happens to truth itself? when seeing and hearing are no longer enough to trust what is real. I mean, AI systems are already manipulating public opinion at scale. Deepfake scams are impersonating family members' voices. Entire industries are quietly restructuring around automation, while governments with their legal powers to regulate don't quite know what to do. And underneath all of it is this growing sense that the pace of change itself may already be outrunning our emotional, political, relational, and spiritual capacity to metabolize it. Humanity used to have generations to adapt to world-changing technologies. And now it feels like the ground shifts every 6 months, if not every day. And no doubt that's part of what feels so destabilizing. Not simply that the technology is powerful, but that human beings are being asked to psychologically, relationally, economically, spiritually, and rapidly adapt to all of it. And to adapt to it while we are already overwhelmed, overextended, and over-notified. The world just won't give us a break. We are doing our best to navigate political chaos, climate anxiety, economic pressure, loneliness, nervous system overload, algorithmic outrage cycles, and the quiet psychological exhaustion of modern life. And now here comes a technology promising to accelerate almost everything. Communication, production, decision-making, content, adaptation, disruption, and maybe AI is revealing something about us here too. Not only about technology, but about the condition in which this technology is arriving. Amongst exhausted, overloaded human beings being asked to adapt to yet another wave of acceleration while we are already carrying more than we know how to carry. You know, one of the things I appreciate in Pope Leo's encyclical is that he doesn't reduce artificial intelligence to a simple policy question or a simple moral debate. He's not being dualistic. He's asking something deeper, something we've been asking here for some time. Where are we going? Toward what vision of humanity are we orienting ourselves? What kind of world are we actually building? A lot of the conversation right now, and in the Pope's encyclical, centers around labor and economics, and understandably so. People are worried about jobs. They're worried about instability. They're worried about what happens when automation replaces the dignity of human work. And those concerns are real. I don't think you can talk about AI faithfully or honestly without talking about labor and money and power and who benefits and who gets left behind. Pope Leo names the benefits of technology that can relieve human beings of arduous, repetitive, or dangerous tasks, but warns against replacing humans altogether for the mere sake of efficiency toward the end of Western civilization's sacred cow, profit. As Leo puts it, the pursuit of greater profits cannot justify choices that systematically sacrifice jobs because the human person is an end, not a means. In other words, if AI becomes one more machine for turning human beings into disposable inputs in someone else's profit model, then we have not simply built a powerful technology, we have amplified one of the deepest distortions already present in our culture. This is a serious warning and it merits our attention, but not everyone sees this as inevitable. For instance, in a recent piece in the New York Times, Ezra Klein pushes back against the most apocalyptic version of this story, the idea that AI simply eliminates human labor and leaves everyone with nothing to do. He points toward something called Jevons paradox, where making something more efficient can actually increase demand for it. New technologies often don't erase work in a clean one-to-one way, they reorganize it. We've seen this before. The spreadsheet did not eliminate accountants, for instance. The ATM did not eliminate bank tellers. Often the work changes, shifts, mutates, or expands in unexpected directions. And that can help keep us from drifting into the easiest panic story, but I'm not sure it resolves the deeper question. Because even if AI does not produce some total job apocalypse, it may still destabilize the structures around which people have built identity, meaning, purpose, and belonging, which brings us a whole new set of questions. If entry-level work changes, how do younger people learn a craft, build confidence, find mentors, or discover what they are good at? If certain skills suddenly become less valuable, what happens to the people who spent decades becoming good at them? If education no longer cleanly maps onto work, what are students preparing for? So even if AI does not end work entirely, it may still change what work means, not only economically, but spiritually. Because what does work mean? You know, one of the most unfortunate things about modern capitalism is that we don't just monetize labor, we gradually monetize identity. And as we've discussed many times before, our culture places a strong emphasis on identity, especially around our work. What do you do? How much do you make? What value do you produce? What market worth do you hold? And maybe AI is revealing something about us here too, about how deeply modern life has taught many of us to organize identity around usefulness, output, achievement, confusing income with dignity, conflating production with meaning, and mistaking efficiency for value. Because if AI increasingly takes over certain forms of cognitive labor, writing summaries, organizing data, processing information, generating first drafts, handling repetitive tasks, then eventually we may be forced into asking a question our culture has generally avoided for a very long time. If productivity is no longer the central organizing principle of society, then what is human life actually for? And that's not merely a technological question, it's the deepest of spiritual questions. Who are you? Especially when the title disappears, when the career changes, when the children leave home, when the body slows down. Who are you when the world no longer looks at you the same way? AI is not creating this question so much as revealing the question of who we are beyond our productivity culture. And a lot of people who have walked through these thresholds already carry wisdom about this. Those who find themselves on the edges of our productivity-driven culture through retirement, job loss, aging, disability, burnout, grief, and major life transitions. They've had to wrestle with the difference between so-called usefulness and meaning. They have had to discover, sometimes painfully, that a human life is not valuable because it is always producing, always earning, always proving, always achieving. A human life has value because it is sacred, because it is here, because it is. And maybe that's part of what this moment in history could force all of us to confront together. If AI were to upend money and productivity as the primary organizing forces of human existence in our culture, what becomes of us? Would we actually know how to live? Would we know how to be with ourselves? Would we know how to participate in community, care for one another, cultivate wisdom, tend beauty, accompany the grieving, mentor younger generations, or simply inhabit ordinary life while practicing presence? And maybe this is where AI might be revealing something about us again. Because human beings do need structure, direction, purpose, meaning. And if you begin rapidly destabilizing the systems around which people have organized identity, labor, usefulness, and daily life for generations, without offering deeper forms of grounding, formation, belonging, or wisdom in their place, that is not a small disruption. That is a civilizational and spiritual crisis. And it lands inside another crisis we are already living through, one that we spoke of quite a bit during our Practice of the Present series: the crisis of isolation. Not just loneliness as a feeling, though that is real enough, but a deeper unraveling of the ordinary webs of connection that help people know who they are and where they belong. We live in a time where families are stretched thin and communities are fragmented, friendships are harder to sustain, and people are carrying more privately than human beings were ever meant to carry alone. And into that ache comes a technology that does not only offer information, it offers response. Because one of the most revealing things about this moment is not simply that AI can produce information, it is that AI can simulate attentiveness. People are turning to it as a kind of relationship partner. And this is not fringe behavior. Recent AP polling found that nearly 1 in 5 American adults and about 1 in 4 adults under 30 have used AI for companionship, while a Common Sense Media report found that more than half of US teens are regular users of AI companions. Why? Well, AI can respond. It can ask follow-up questions. It can help you process an emotion, brainstorm a hard conversation, draft an apology, write a poem, summarize your confusion, and sit there with endless patience while you try to figure out what you actually mean. And maybe that's one of the clearest ways AI is revealing something about us. Not merely look at what machines can do, but look what human beings are hungry for. If people are finding solace in a machine that responds with patience and curiosity, maybe that says something about how little patience and curiosity many people are receiving in the rest of their lives. If people are telling machines things they don't feel safe telling other human beings, maybe that says something about how much shame people are carrying. If people are reaching for simulated companionship, maybe that says something about how frayed our actual webs of belonging have become. Because in a world where so many of us are carrying more than we know how to carry, responsiveness can feel like mercy. But responsiveness is not the same thing as relationship. And that distinction matters enormously. Because real relationship is not only response. Real relationship is mutual encounter. Real relationship contains vulnerability, misunderstanding, repair, waiting, limitation, surprise, disappointment, forgiveness, change. Real relationship involves another living presence across from you who you cannot simply optimize for your preferences. Another body, another nervous system, another history, another set of wounds and hopes and needs, and someone who may need something from you too. A machine can simulate attentiveness, but it cannot replace the strange, risky, embodied work of being known by another human being and knowing them in return. It cannot replace the moment when someone sees your face change and asks, "Hey, what just happened?" It cannot replace the feeling of sitting in silence with someone who does not try to fix you and also does not leave. It cannot replace shared laughter, shared grief, shared food, shared work, shared memory, shared forgiveness. And while AI is revealing how lonely we are, and how overloaded we are, and how hungry we are for being met, it might also be revealing something deeper about where human beings go looking for meaning, wisdom, comfort, guidance, and presence when the ordinary structures that once carried those things begin to fray, when community is hard to find, when work becomes unstable or consuming, when institutions lose trust, when silence feels unfamiliar, when people no longer quite know how to encounter themselves, one another, or the sacred currents of life directly. Human beings do not stop longing for meaning just because the old containers weaken. We look to find it somewhere, anywhere. And many of us are looking to AI. But those of us here, we have something else we can look to the practices we have been cultivating here for decades, because they shape the kind of humans who can meet this moment in history and meet each other there. Our learning practices are about more than mere information. They teach us how to seek wisdom together, ask better questions, hold complexity, stay humble, and listen beyond our first reaction. Our communal practices ensure we are not isolated units trying to self-optimize our way through existence. Here, we can belong imperfectly. We can be seen when we are not producing, not performing, and not holding it all together. Our serving practices are love in embodied action. A ride to the doctor, a meal at the door, showing up for our neighbors, a hand on someone's shoulder. And our contemplative practices help us stay present to all of it, offering us ways of returning to the body, returning to breath, returning to silence, returning to the sacredness of what is right here among us before we reach for the next distraction, the next answer, or the next escape hatch. None of these things move at the speed of technological acceleration. They are slow. They are inefficient. They do not scale easily. But in a world optimized for speed, stillness is not a retreat. It's resistance. Being spiritually present to each other, to ourselves, to the divine, may actually be the highest form of intelligence in a world chasing artificial versions of it. Because whatever happens technologically in the coming years, the deeper questions underneath all of this will remain the same. Not simply what is AI becoming, but what might AI be revealing about us, and what is it revealing about the kind of human beings we are becoming? And next week, we'll take a perhaps surprising turn when we look at how AI could maybe, just maybe, actually help us become the kind of humans we most deeply long to be. Amen. Friends on the live stream, so glad that you joined us this morning. We're about to do something here in the room that I'd like to invite you to a remote version of. Scott is leading it. He's heading out the room here with his computer, and he's going to open a Google Meet for you to join. So there's a link underneath the video that says, "What are you thinking?" We're going to talk about today's lesson, the service. We're going to talk about how hot it's been in this room. I'm sure you all have air conditioning wherever you are, but we do not. We're just going to talk about what's on our minds after we get in touch with what we are sensing and feeling. And so we would like to invite you to do the same. So click on that link and you can join that conversation. These are some of the best people I know who have figured out how to cultivate and maintain robust spiritual community remotely, and they would love for you to join them. If you don't want to talk this morning, or you're watching at a different time, there's another link under that one where you can you can request an email if you are new. And it's an email that is not dissimilar to the one that Suzanne mentioned earlier to tell you all about us, but this one has a little more remote specificity to it if you think that perhaps joining this community works for you, but remote might be the way to go. So please check that out. And with that, everyone in the room, can we dismiss our friends on the live stream, please, by putting one hand on our hearts and remembering that at the center of the center, there is a light that never ends. The divine is deeply, deeply within us, and we are called to share the fruit of the Spirit, patience, kindness, forgiveness. All of it is in us, and we are called to share it with the world. And so let's extend our other hand to our city and to our world. And think about this week, everyone with whom we live, with whom we work, with whom we go to school. We are going to share this light with them as we take seriously each week our charge to be healers and repairers of our world. Amen. Friends on the live stream, God bless you. You are dismissed. Friends in the room, I invite you to get in touch with what you're sensing and feeling before we share.